Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of Tech It Out with Vista. Tech It Out with Vista show today is about um, the Braille Teach. And to tell us all about the Braille Teach, our guests today are Rashid Aliyev, and he is the founder uh, and Chief Technology Officer. And then we also have Gwen Burchell, co-founder, and she is I hope I have this right, she's the Chief Operating Officer with Braille Teach. So welcome, Gwen and Rashid. We appreciate you being here today. Uh, Rashid, can you tell us a little bit about how the Braille Teach came about?
Good day, and thank you having me here, the Gwen, our Chief Executive Officer. I came to Braille with so long way, indirect way, because everything starts. I don't want like talk all story, but I help it with EAP, electroactive polymers. I'm research for my student, and while working on that, I decided why not to use same thing on tactile displays or tactile surfaces and so on, and try to decrease the size of the cells that we making with him. But while I'm working on tactile surface, I decided to try to make also Braille display or Braille multi-line Braille cell display because I saw it good one of the direction for good application. But while working on that, beside a huge investment needed for like all R&D and stuff, I find out that only 10% of BVI people are able to read and write in Braille, and I decided to make a solution which will first prepare the user base for my invention, then go to like then have the like find out the money and so on and go make that device. But during my like research and so on, I wasn't have the idea and product as which one I have right now. I'm working with different forms, shapes, button amounts, and so on. And one day I was invited to Ukraine for judge the local competition of startups, and I traveled from one city to another city on train. I met the guy. He's sitting at front of me. He was seated there, and I came, sat at front of him, and as soon as I said, he started greeting me and started talk with me, and he explaining what's outside of window, like what is what statues, buildings, stations, rivers, and so on and so on. Try explaining everything, like personal are how to say want to talk and talking the long. And after a few stations, he said that, "Oh, here must be building something," and I was just wondered that he explained all what happened outside, and one thing he not like he not described that and as I asked him, but you just said everything. You don't see like here's like the building is almost done and so on. He said, unfortunately, I am not because he was had the surgery. He had some kind of tumor or something between his eyeballs and the brain. There's channel something, and their parents, the doctor said that they need to remove his both eyeballs, or his brain will be dead and affected with that kind of things. And his parent decided to remove his eyes, and that guy explaining me all situation, and I like kind of feel sorry because I said that you just talk everything and you don't see kind of things, and then we're starting to talk about like education, literature, and so on, and we and I asked him like about what about the Braille alphabet he know about and so on, we talked a little bit. He said that physical, psychically, like for it's hard for him to learn to go to teacher because like he's an age, other people in the school are younger, and there's some other reason like school are far away. To go to his school, it's need to spend about 2.5 hours, under 3 hours like travel trip, and he don't want to stay in boarding schools, kind of like with things with him. And I started explaining about my invention BrailleTeach to him, and like he was happy that there is such easy solution that which is he can put the pocket and so on. We started to talk a little bit on that and so on, and like then I decided I need to stop Braille Pad and move to BrailleTeach because there is many reasons. First, it's too easy to as a concept and as a development rather than Braille Pad. And I decided to work on it, and I made the first prototype finally finalized. I'm going to test with other people with different schools and so on. And I saw that there is people really need them because there is school budgets, there is far schools, there's uh, sociological problems of people like they can't or don't want to go to like schools and so other things that and that solution is help and it's fixed many many like many problems within one tool. And then I go to like the Ministry of Education of Azerbaijan to other places, and I got approved for tests. And I tested the device. I got positive feedback, and I started to make handmade 3D model things. We sold some amount of them, and then coronavirus happened, and things like going slow, slow, slow. Then I met with Gwen and I explained the product that I need, like maybe she knows somebody or somehow to help got finding and so on. And when helped us to receive the secure grant from GHR Foundation, which is helping us to make like now mass marketing version, like mass production version, which is right now already sells in the sale. It's like the short of long story.
Great. And what's the name of your company?
Horizon Next.
Great. Thank you.
The story behind the name Horizon Next is that we are strong believers that in the use of technology in supporting inclusion. So BrailleTeach is the first product that we're producing, but Rashid has got many, many more products working through his mind for all different levels and stages of learning. Not just related to Braille. But BrailleTeach is the first product, and I can tell you a bit more about that now and my background as well, if you like.
Yes, we're excited to hear about BrailleTeach and your background.
Okay, so my name's Gwen. I'm from the UK originally, but I've been living for the last 25 years in Azerbaijan, where Rashid is from, and he's now moved to the US. So I started my work in the field of disability about 25 years ago when I visited institutions, residential institutions for children with disabilities who had been abandoned by their families. And it was just literally rows and rows of children lying in bed, their limbs contracting, horrible sights. You just don't want to ever see that kind of thing. And because I'd seen it, that started me off on my mission for the next 25 years in Azerbaijan, building an ecosystem around keeping children with disabilities in their families. So I've become quite an expert on disability and inclusion during all these years. And when Rashid showed me a prototype of BrailleTeach, I immediately knew it was something that could be very valuable in the world of learning. Now, I know that everybody on this call here now is of an older generation, may or may not know Braille, and some people think that we don't need Braille today because there's so much modern technology around, but Braille is actually, it's everywhere, and it's invaluable tool for literacy, for independence in daily living. And so we're really committed to helping more people learn Braille because this is such a simple solution. I brought a device with me. I know I can't really show it on this call, but I'm holding it in my hands now. So it's a handheld device that fits neatly into two hands. It has buttons on either side, on the left side and the right side, which are the control buttons. But on the front face, you have the 6 buttons representing the Braille code. And these buttons, you press them and they go up and down. When they're down, that's the starting position. When they're up, they represent the points of the code. And then you switch it on and it takes you through 8 games. I'll just move to the... So it takes you through 8 games. There are 4 games related to letters. First one is I will read the letter. So the game tells you which letter you've created when you raise the dots. And then the second game is you learn how they're written. So the device will announce a letter and teach you the correct 6-dot combination. Then the third game is guess the letter, where the device will announce a letter and you've got to enter the right combination of dots. And if you make a mistake, the game will prompt you to try again. And then you keep moving on through that game through the letters. And then the final game for letters is guessing the letters within a time limit. And I know from adult Braille users who've been testing our device, even they get quite excited by this game because they're testing their knowledge against the time limit, and they found that really quite fun. But the whole point of this is that learning Braille becomes fun. You do it by yourself. You know, you plug in your headphones. You can be at home. You can do it with friends, with you know, family members. It's a game. So, and then there are 4 games about meeting the numbers and symbols, and they are the same format as the 4 games for letters. So it reads, you create numbers and symbols, and it tells you if you're right or wrong. It announces letters. You have to put in the 6-dot combination, and it will tell you if you're right and wrong, and so on. So 8 games. It can also be programmed with many different languages, and that's the beauty of this toy. Is it's just so versatile. So currently we've got it in US English, UK English, German, Spanish, Azerbaijani, Russian, and we're developing Arabic and Turkish and French right now. So the idea is that we'll be promoting this internationally, but we've started with the US as our first market. So that's why we've got US English and UK English to recognize the difference in accents. So just a few more words about the device. So we call it inclusive by design because while it was designed for people with visual impairments to learn the 6-dot code, actually it's really appealing to anybody. So often kids, when they see it, they want to take it and have a go. It's attractive to everybody. It's very light. It only weighs 250 grams. It has a lanyard feature, so you can hang it around your neck and not, you know, it doesn't get lost. It won't drop to the ground. And, you know, compared to the weight and the size of many other learning tools on the market for early Braille, it's very mobile, very handy device to have. It's affordable. We sell it for $140 plus shipping. And like I said, it's autodidactic. You don't need a teacher for this. We do have audio user guide and video user guide, but literally when most people switch it on within a few minutes, they've worked it out and are off independently. Children, once they get it in their hands, they're even faster than us adults, as children always are. I think that's basically what I'd like to talk about the device. I could play you some videos if you'd like to hear some other people with visual impairments talking about their experience with it, or I can move into questions.
The videos would be okay to show those. Is it possible for I can't tell because of my vision, but is it possible for you to hold the device up to your camera there so people can take a look
Yeah.
at it?
I'm holding it up in my camera now. I wasn't sure how many people on this call would be able to see it or not, but yes, I'm holding it up. I'm holding a yellow. It's yellow with blue buttons.
And
I can even switch it on. Let me switch it on, then you can hear it as well. Just a second.
And it's about the size of a cell phone, smartphone?
It's thicker than a cell phone, but yes, you can hold it in one hand like you would with a cell phone. Yeah. I'll switch it on now.
Choose a game you would like to play. I will read the letter.
Okay, that's the first game. I'll press OK.
You can raise any point, and after pressing the OK button, hear which letter was entered.
So for example, I'll press button 1 and button 2, and I'll press OK, and then you'll hear what letter it is.
B.
B. If I press maybe button 3 and button 4, and press OK.
B.
B. Then I'll press button 5.
This letter does not exist. Please try again.
So that gives you some idea of basic function. If you want me to take you through any more games, I'm happy to do so. But let me just bring up the YouTube clip with Paul from New Zealand. Maybe.
And there's blue version also.
Yeah, the blue and yellow.
What were your first impressions
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll keep going.
of the device?
I thought the concept was good. I have to say that my 8-year-old daughter saw it and went, "Wow, Dad, I want that." She does know Braille and she has played with it. She found it visually attractive, which is cool, because a lot of blindness products are pretty functional.
Yes.
You know, they don't look visually appealing. Whereas my daughter definitely said that that's cool, I want to play with it. I think that's great of blind young people particularly. It reminds me a bit of a pocket radio for some kind of reason. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's the sliding turn the volume, maybe. I don't know, but it just reminds me of, it's a bit kind of, maybe slightly bigger. So I quite like the shape. I think the buttons are good and pronounced. It takes a wee bit of getting used to, for me, bringing dots up rather than pressing them down. You know what I mean? You know, I'm used to, I've got a Braille keyboard in front of me, so the action is a bit different.
Yeah.
So I think particularly for an experienced Braille user, it takes a wee bit of getting used to. The keys come up, it's obviously Braille, you know. And as I say, anything that reinforces and helps people will practice.
So that's one of the videos.
The Joe
Excuse me.
experience.
Starting by day, Joe Rugby podcast by night, all day.
Oh, don't know where that's going from.
Hello, Joe. Joe, that was fun last night. Let me just.
Okay, sorry, didn't mean to go into the Joe Rogan podcast there. So, yeah, I'm open to questions.
So Gwen, in the video clip you played, he talked about the buttons coming up. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because it kind of looks like a keypad and like you would be pushing the buttons down. So I didn't understand his
Okay.
explanation about them coming up.
Okay, so if you, I'll describe it. So the front of the device, when it's flat, that's the starting position. So there are no buttons up. It's completely flat. Okay. But when you press on a button, it pops up. So then you can see it's just slightly raised. Yeah. So then you understand which button is raised. So I've pressed 1, 2 right now, and they're both up. Rashid, if we could, yeah, okay. They're both up. And that's what he means. So, it's an opposite. You have to push, you have to press down to raise the buttons, and the raised buttons represent the dots, the code.
Gotcha. I understand. And do they automatically retract
No.
if you hit the OK button, or how do they go back
No.
down?
You press them back down.
Okay.
Press them up and down.
Manually by your fingers. So,
Yeah.
And do the buttons have the Braille dots actually on each of the buttons, or no?
No.
No.
Okay.
Buttons each cell, there is 6 buttons with 2 columns and 3 rows, which represent the Braille cell. It's like 10 times larger than Braille cell, increased version. And one button is under one finger, like fingertip. It's like for improved motorics and using by motoric memory, and it make it easy to remember. Like when you're using learn the old days, you use the balls, like putting the 6 balls together and code kind of things. And it's the same strategy that you have the 6 buttons. Each button represents one cell of the Braille.
Gotcha. If anybody has any questions, please raise your hand and Ryan can call on you. While people are doing that, can you tell us where people would be able to acquire the BrailleTeach?
Sure. Currently, you can purchase the device from our website, and the website address is www.BrailleTeach, or one word, .com. And we are also starting to sell it through various suppliers. So now in the US, Independent Living have picked it up. They're going to start testing the market with it. Perkins have already been inviting us to their events to showcase it. Connecticut State Department for Aging and Disability, they just reached out to us to establish a supplier contract. APH is going through their ideation committee. I hope that a sort of second model will be taken up by them, and then it'll be available through APH as well. So yeah, Vista obviously has been really great and supporting us. I hope it will be available through Vista soon. So gradually, we only got it onto the market last October. So, we're a few months in, bringing all the different market and sales channels together. But
great, thank you. Ryan, do we have anybody with questions?
Yeah, we do. Ashley, I see that you have your hand raised.
Ashley, could you switch on your microphone?
Ashley, you're muted.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, hello. I guess this is it. Okay, yeah, the buttons are different. Hi.
Hi, Ashley.
Hello.
The question is, how long is this device going to run? I'm assuming it might run on batteries, and if so, how long does it run? And and you might have said this, but what was the weight of it? I'm wondering how portable it is.
Okay. So it has a rechargeable battery. So it comes with a USB cable, and you can recharge it. It's 250 grams, so quarter of a kilo. It's very, very light.
Oh,
It has a lanyard hole, so you can like thread a ribbon or something through it and hang it around your neck so you won't lose it or drop it. Yeah, it's very portable.
oh,
And
cool.
you can also,
ch-
it has a headphone jack, so you can put headphones in and listen to it, and play with it without disturbing people around you.
Oh, good.
Average charge is enough for 2 hours unstoppable operations. There is the maximum is free, but like it's depend how your volume, like your loudness, you use louder or slow or lower sound. Like it's dependent volume, like which how louder you're listening to the device. But recharge also, like you're recharging and reusing it.
Uh-huh. So I was also wondering, see, by the way, I've been attending tech talk here for a couple of years in the pandemic. I found out about it, so this was helpful because it was like virtual only back then. But anyway, I do know Braille already, but I think I know a lot of people who could benefit from it, who are either learning Braille now or want to learn Braille, because of their vision loss. Braille is wonderful. The next question was does it have a way like to track what you've done, like how many mistakes you've made or how long you've used it in any form? I don't know if there's a way to print
No.
either print or emboss anything from here.
No, it's a standalone device. It's just
Okay.
like a learning tool. It doesn't connect yet to the computer to download data. I think that's something that Rashid will work on in future. But this is a first device, just getting out to people, and then we'll start looking at new technical innovations.
Yeah, it sounds like you all have a good start. Yeah, because I think standalone devices are good in many ways. On the other hand, I kind of, when someone's learning, I think that it's great to have a record of what they've done or where they are. So that's what I was curious about it all. And last thing is, does this have like a visual display for those to watch what you're doing, or can you connect a visual display to it?
No, it's
Okay.
just a simple electronic handheld toy that plays the games. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of something to describe it. Like there's
Like
a
a
children's.
box, I think.
It's
Yeah,
egg-shaped. It's egg-shaped, like flat, but from sides egg-shaped, and it's you can operate with one hand or two hands. It's easily you can hold like within your two hand palms.
Oh wow, very handheldable, like kind
Yeah.
of like probably like a player like a Victor Stream. Then you can hold it with one hand. Only this is smaller.
Yes, yeah, no, it's small. It's small. It fits in one hand, or you can play it with two hands. It's designed to like fit nicely in your hands. It's not uncomfortable. And whether it's children's hands or adults' hands, it's very accommodating.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you then.
And then with
Yeah.
my vision, what I can see in describing it, it looks a little bit bigger, just slightly bigger than the Victor Stream first gen, if anyone knows that. So, Morgan, I see that you have your hand up. Go ahead.
My first my first question is, can everybody hear me okay? I apologize. I had to put my AirPods in, so I just want to make sure I'm clear.
Yep, we can hear you.
Great. Okay, fantastic. So I was gonna have one question, but now actually I have two. Thank you, Ashley, for kind of bouncing a question now off my head. So first off, I want to say great job. I love the sound of this device so far. I am an avid Braille user, and from reading and writing, I've known Braille since I was 7 years old. and I wish there was a device like this when I first started learning. That being said, right, I'm curious if, because it doesn't sound like you guys have this yet. If you guys do not have support for grade 2, is this something you guys are considering implementing in the future? That's my first question. And then my second question is, you mentioned it can be held in one hand. I know people and have a very good friend of mine as well who is actually one-handed. They do not have use of one of their hands. So I'm wondering if one-handed mode is something you've considered for this device for people who, can't use both hands to write in Braille, but still want to learn.
There is.
Rashid, could I
Okay.
answer the first question, then you answer the second question? Sorry. Yes, your first question was, sorry, it just left me now. I got Rashid, you continue. I lost it.
Grade 2. I was asking about grade 2.
Grade 2. Sorry, yeah, we've been asked about this before, about grade 2, and I've had conflicting feedback from people. Some people say forget about grade 2 and then just shift to grade 3 to contracted Braille. So we were already thinking and starting to look at contracted Braille anyway. And it'd be good to get more feedback on this. What do you think? Because this is grade 1 Braille, and we could do grade 2, grade 3, and so on. But a lot of people said, don't worry about grade 2, just shift straight to contracted.
That's actually fascinating to me, because to be honest with you, I only know one person that knows grade 3. I don't even know grade 3, to be completely honest with you. I know grade 1 and 2, and I know UEB. And I would say grades 1 and 2 are still, in terms of this, more used more often. That's the word I'm gonna go with. But I mean, I don't know everybody in the world,
Yes.
So that's very interesting.
Okay, it's always good to get lot of different people's opinions.
Well, and maybe as we go along here, some of our other clients here could chime in as far as what they think. I know there's
absolutely. I'd love to hear if anybody else here knows grade 3 or what your thoughts are about this as well.
Thanks, Morgan. Farhang, I see you have your hand raised.
How about her second question? Did we get that?
Oh, that's right. Sorry, Morgan. Go ahead.
Yes, the second and about first question a little bit. It's software, and we can make in one device grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, and so that for us there is no problem. Like it's depend. Everything depend. About the design, as you maybe somebody made, it's fit in the one hand or both hands, and it's like exact finger size that no matter you use your left hand or you use your right hand, the thumb finger, it will always reach both sides from both sides for both operation. And the design made, if you like, I will hold in my hand with one hand. I always able to reach back button, confirm button, operation button, no matter left hand, right hand, or like with the big thumb finger. All finger reach from each side, and it's make the device easily to operate with one hand or with both hand, and no matter left-handed or right-handed. The only thing to need to consider that the confirmation button is on the left side of the device and cancel button is on the right side. And of course, the writing from left to right, and this need to be considered too. But operating with one hand, both or another or both, it's easy, like it's fit into your hand.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And I assume you could also have it laying flat on a table and just use it?
Yes.
Farhang, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good morning, Gwen. Good morning, Rashid.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Farhang, and thank you for the presentation. My question is, I've got two very short questions. First of all, I've never learned Braille. I always want to learn Braille, but I'm very scared because I think I may not be able to understand the dots or memorize the dots. Is this the appropriate machine that you have come out with where I can learn Braille right from the beginning?
I think so. That's what a lot of people keep telling us now. When Rashid and I started, we thought, oh, this is just for children. And then as more and more people tested it, they said, no, you're wrong. It's not just for kids. This is for adults as well, because it's really scary when you use your eyesight later in life. It's always hard to learn a second language as you get older. And so the feedback, we've had so many different people of different ages testing this in different countries, and feedback's always that this would be great for adults to learn, you know, because you can just be on your own and you know, put your earphones in and just play with it by yourself and learn all the combinations, learn the code in your own time. And I think that's really a valuable way of learning and not feeling daunted by it.
I think I saw
Okay.
on your website that you indicated a certain amount of time that it takes a person to learn the code.
I think it's you know, individual for each person, but usually a few months.
Okay, great.
And depends on how much time somebody spends. I'm sure if somebody spent like morning until night for days on end, they'd master it pretty fast. But
Do you all
there
have
are-
Gwen, do you all have in recordings of the teachings, of the tutorials? Do you all have any tutorials how to learn it?
we have a audio guide, and it's just literally a few minutes, and that's all you need. It's very, very easy.
Oh, okay. And my
There is
second,
no-
sorry. Continue, Rashid.
There's no special syllabus for that. It's easy because there's gave you random, it's gamification help you to learn. Even you buy from store somewhere, you do not need teacher. The primary.
And my
class of-
second question, what is, you're
Yeah,
getting
go
cut
ahead.
off, Rashid, and you're getting cut, Rashid. Can you repeat that?
I mean, you don't need like to go to teacher. It's specially designed that for standalone. You can buy it and go learn anywhere where you want.
Oh yeah, I understand that. But I was just wondering if there is any tutorial to teach us 1 dot means this and 2 dots means this.
Device
It's-
itself doing it.
It's not, yeah, the
The-
device teaches you that, and then there's also an audio recording on the website so that you can go and click on that and listen to me telling you how to use it.
So where is the audio recordings? What's the website?
www.BrailleTeach.com.
Okay,
And
okay.
also, you can find on our social media page on Facebook, on YouTube, on our LinkedIn page. There's some videos and information also parallelly shared.
Just look for BrailleTeach.
Yes, you need
Okay.
to write it together.
Correct, I understand. And my
if you-
second question,
well,
sorry, I keep
Farhan,
interrupting. Yes.
if you look at the meeting announcement at the very, very bottom of the meeting announcement, I have a link to their website.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. And what is the name of your company? Horizon what? I didn't get the second.
Horizon Next.
NEXT?
NEXT.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's HORIZON
NEXT.
NEXT. One word or 2 words?
2 words. 2 words. Braille
All right,
Teach
thank you.
is 1 word. Horizon Next is 2.
2 words. Okay, thank you very much, Gwen. Thank you, Rashid, for all the
My
answers
pleasure.
you gave me. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye. Thank you, Ryan.
Marcia, I see that you have your hand raised.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Oh, good. I was wondering about you know, how far a person can go, whether it's just, you know, the alphabet and symbols, or if, you know, a person could learn UEB contracted Braille, or whatever the or whether that is in the mix, or what's going on, so that people can learn, they've learned the alphabet, they've learned the symbols and that kind of thing. Where is there any way where people can level up, so to speak, their Braille learning, and learn what they call contracted Braille, for those who want to really learn to read and really use it?
Definitely. It's this is our first device, this one, grade 1 Braille, but contracted is definitely on our sort of priority list, as well as other innovations that we're working on. So yes, that's the idea, is that people get to know us, our company, our product, with this first one, and then we'll be rolling out new innovations.
By the way, I've learned Braille since pretty much the age of practically since the age of 1, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
And I use it all the time. So
So you know how useful it is.
Oh yeah. I've been using it since I was 5, 6 years, ever since I went to school.
Brilliant.
And
And
do you think-
sometimes I've talked with people who said, why do you need Braille? All this new technology everywhere. Why do we need Braille?
Part of that,
and-
I would say part of that is the brain has to learn to decode as well as encode.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
I always say to a person who does that, they said, well, the day that sighted people don't read print anymore, that's the day we don't use Braille anymore.
Exactly. We wouldn't say to kids, oh, you don't need to go to school to learn and read and write anymore. What's the point? You've got YouTube. I mean, you just wouldn't say that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Marsha, do you have an opinion?
Very sad.
Marsha, do you have an opinion on whether they should go to Braille 2 or skip it and go to Braille 3?
Well, Braille 3, actually, no. I think that one has to have a foundation. You have to have a foundation. You learn grade 1, then from that you building block, because it's all a building block, into grade 2. And then if you want to use grade 3, which is pretty much just for taking notes, pretty much, because I do know grade 3 as well. I think that one has to build on the one before that.
Great. Thank you so much for your opinion. And I think Beverly is on with us. I know you're a Braille user. Bevy, do you have any opinions about that? Bevy?
Can you hear me, Bob?
Yes,
we
go
can hear
ahead.
you
Thank
now.
you, Bevy.
Sorry. There's one of the things that I thought about with your device is you said that it's the top part of it is all flat until you push down and then it pops up the Braille bump. And so if it's all flat, how can we feel where to push down?
Okay, shall I answer that one? How can you feel where to push down? Well, I've got my thumb, for example, now on a button. It's a bouncy button. I don't know a better way to describe it. It clicks in and out. You'll know the minute you touch it, you'll understand the mechanism. It's
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Bouncing
It's
button.
flat surface, and the buttons, when your finger on it, and you can press a little bit and they will go down. You do not need to have like
So you
push
can
so
feel
hard.
where the button is.
Yes, the kind of hole
Yeah,
you
that's
will feel. Yeah, that you feel that there is something like some like form, or some like how to say,
Right.
some crack happening around the shapes, and it's not so deep, like 1 millimeter go deep and 2 millimeter go up a button, and it's enough to reflect the Braille button. And when you like your finger on that special area of button, you will feel that there is something you can press or so on. By the way, the interesting thing, when we also made the blind test called kinda, we're giving to persons, don't explaining what is it, like for child and so on, and saying it's just interactive toy, and they starting, it's take 3 to 5 minutes by themselves. As younger as the shorter time, as older the longer, like from 3 to 5 minutes to without any explanation, them to find out how to operate the device.
Yeah. I do know grade 1, and I learned grade 2, but you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I remember some of them, but I don't know, as Morgan said, I also do not know anybody that uses the contracted Braille. Not to say that there isn't,
Oh,
but I
God.
just don't know 'em.
I
And
do. I do a lot.
well, I'm not saying that there isn't people. I'm just saying I don't know. And I am always, I facilitate a game day, and we're kind of, if anybody's in that game day that comes, they know what I'm going to say right now, because I've tried to even teach them A through J, just so that we can play cards, you know, just using the one through 0, but they're not, they just are not their fingers are not being sensitive to what they're feeling when I made cards for them. And so I don't know if this would be helpful or not, but that's what I think of when I think of this device. So thank you for showing it. Thank you for making it. Thank you for thinking of us.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Bev. Mona, I see that you have your hand raised.
Yes. I used to teach Braille, and we would teach grade 1 and grade 2. But I do know that subscribers, when they write Braille, like when they transcribe books for school level children, that they are now teaching them grade 3. When I left, when I stopped working, when I retired, I think that's when they were starting to introduce grade 3, or shortly after I retired, they were going to start introducing grade 3, and they were asking the transcribers to use grade 3 when they did their transcribing of the books. So it is being taught to school children now, I'm thinking. But I myself, I like the grade 2. So if you could do the grade 2 in this game, that would be great, because a lot of books that are out there are in grade 2. When you get a book, it's in grade 2 most of the time. Because when I have a phone list that I put out, and I ask a transcriber that I know, she puts it out in grade 2. All of the words that she writes, the names, it's all in grade 2. So it is being used.
Thank you.
That's my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really useful to know.
Thanks, Mona. Ashley, I see that you have your hand raised once more.
Yeah. Hello? Did I get it? I guess I got it this time.
No, we can
Unmuted.
hear you.
Okay, cool. Hey everyone again. Yeah, you did make a short demo in this call. I think I might have missed part of it. Because I hear the machine talking. I guess the question is when you're pressing the dots of it, does it make like a clicking sound or any type of sound or feedback to say you know press dots 1 and 2 or something to that effect?
Yes, it does. It does. It clicks depending on which game you're playing. But when you're pressing the button, I'll put it close to the speaker so you can hear.
Yeah, that'd be helpful because I didn't.
All right, see if you
I just
can
heard
hear
it
this.
talking earlier.
Can you hear that?
A little.
No.
Yeah,
Hardly.
it's not so like loud clicking
It's,
sound.
my computer's obviously not good enough to show, but yeah, a very light clicking. It's a very light clicking sound, so you know that you've clicked it. And
Okay,
of course,
good.
depending on which game you're in, when you've clicked something and pressed the OK button, then the device will tell you if you're right or wrong, or what letter you've chosen, or what number you've chosen, depending on which game. So it will give you feedback with every sort of action that you take. It will give you feedback.
Oh, okay. That helps. I'm glad you clarified it clicked because yeah, I don't think we all heard it. I think I heard a little bit, but it
So
sounded
I can
like
do
a
it again.
pen
It
rustling.
sounded
kind of like
take
a
you.
pen rustling more than a click, but
Let me take you through a game, through the games, the settings. Okay, so I'll do this again now out loud.
Okay.
So let me switch
Great.
it on.
Choose a game you would like to play. I will
Oh,
read the
good.
letter.
That's the first game.
Guess the letter.
Second game.
Learn how letters are written.
Third game.
Guess the letters within the time limit.
Fourth game.
I will read a number or symbol.
Fifth game.
Guess the number or symbol.
Sixth.
Oh,
Learn how numbers and symbols are written.
Seventh game.
Guess the number or symbol within the time limit.
Eighth game.
Settings.
Then that takes you to the settings.
Settings. Language settings.
Language settings.
Brief manual.
Brief manual.
About device.
About the device.
Language settings.
Language settings.
Chosen language. British English.
British English.
Espanol.
Espanol.
Deutsch.
Deutsch.
American English.
American English. We'll put
Okay.
American English in here.
Current languages.
So now it's
American English.
now it's in American English.
Language settings.
Okay, so that I've taken you through the settings, I've taken you through the 8 games, and literally that's it. Then yeah, and then you just use the controls to play the games. So you choose a game and play the game, and while you're playing the game, the device will tell you what to do.
Oh, okay, thank you. I didn't know about the languages, so this was really helpful because initially, I don't know about everyone else, but I was having trouble understanding the accent, the British accent.
Oh.
But then when you switched it, but because we're all, in America here, but if I'm happen to be in another state actually, but than California, but when you switched it to American English, it sounded much clearer. So I'm really glad that that's an option. So thanks again. And you say it's currently shipping through something like independent living aids.
That's one of they haven't got it on their website yet. They've got stock, they've got the photos, they just got to put on their website. But yeah, you can get it through our website or email to us directly, or any way.
Oh, your website. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Your website sells it. Okay, well, thank you for that demo again and clarification. And one more thing is, yeah, I also grew up using first grade 1, which is just the alphabet basically, and then grade 2. At least in America, they call grade 2 contracted Braille now. So they're kind of the same thing. And then recently the BANA, the Braille Authority of North America, a few years ago, adopted some new changes. So now it's my understanding that we're using UEB Braille, which is Unified English Braille primarily, but I've seen UEB in books from Library of Congress, although I do use talking books as well. And basically UEB is pretty much the same as grade 2 because it's just contracted Braille, only they took away some contractions to change it up a bit. But anyway, so yeah, I just second the idea to use have games with contracted Braille eventually, or at least maybe some of the contractions. to help people learn. So
Okay.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you. That's really useful.
Thank you, Ashley. Farhang, I see you have your hand raised again.
Yes, just one comment. Rashid, I like your mustache.
Thank you, thank you.
It's a good
Welcome.
mustache.
I
And-
had a
Not that bad.
mustache till I left India. And after that, people said, no, you shouldn't have a mustache in New Zealand or America. So I got rid of it.
Thank you, Farhang.
You're
Mona, I did
welcome,
see that
Ryan.
you had your hand raised for a moment and then you popped it down. Did you have a
No,
question?
Thank you,
no,
Gwen. Thank you,
no,
Rashid.
I thought I was lowering my hand, and I guess you did it for me.
I did. Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Diane, I see that you have your hand raised.
No, I'm sorry. I was fiddling around with buttons. I accidentally raised it.
You got
Can you lower it for me, please? I'm sorry.
it. You're good.
Thank
Morgan,
you.
did you purposely raise your hand or?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
There you go.
I just wanted to kind of add to something that I'm so sorry. One second. So I just wanted to clarify something that Ashley was mentioning, and Mona, if you would like to chime in, please feel free to do so. Because this is just to my understanding. It'd be wonderful to also hear from somebody who has taught Braille. From my understanding, the UEB, the Unified English Braille, so there you go, is basically like the new kind of Braille standard, versus what we had before, like the US and UK. They had like separate, but now they're all together. However, in Unified English Braille, you can still write in grade 1 or grade 2. Like it's not just because you're using UEB, you're going to only be using contracted. I personally still use grade 1 a lot just because I like to be able to fully spell out things in case I make errors. So
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna chime in. This is Mona. I myself mostly use grade 1 when I do my Braille. I don't use Braille that often, but I might start now that I don't have any vision. I might start going back to my Braille. But sometimes it is good to use the contracted Braille, whether you call it grade 2 or UEB. Now, I'm not familiar with the UEB. I retired before UEB was introduced, so I'm not familiar with UEB, and so I just know grade 1, grade 2, which is more or less the contracted Braille. To me,
got it.
grade 2 is the contracted Braille.
Yes,
And,
yes.
So I myself like the grade 1, like you. I like the fact that you have to spell out the whole word instead of shortcutting it,
Yes.
and not learning how to spell the whole word. That's what happens. That's where the literacy part comes in. And you have to know how to spell the word in order to be able to write the word.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's also good. I started using it again because, I was a grade 2 user for many, many years, grade 2 only. And the thing I can say from my own personal experience and from others I've talked to is that if you, let's say, you use only grade 2 for 10 years, 20 years, well, then it can happen where, you have, say, a word that might have a contraction in it, because you're so used to using that contraction, you kind of forget what the letters are. So
Exactly.
it's good to keep the practice up. Thank you so much for listening to my comment and helping me just kind of reiterate on this. I'm so sorry, everybody. I do actually have to go a little early. I do apologize. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of this meeting.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you.
Thanks, Morgan. At this time, I don't see any other hands
Okay.
raised.
I did notice earlier, I'm not sure if she's still here, but I want to thank Catalina Reynolds, Kata. He's the one who is now posting all of our videos to the YouTube channel, and she's doing a remarkable job with that. So everybody give her a big thanks for keeping our YouTube channel up to date now.
Yeah, thank you, Kato.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for participating today, and thank you Rashid and Gwen. The device seems really, really fascinating and easy to use and easy to learn. So thank you so much for developing it and sharing it with us today. We appreciate you being here. And I know Gwen, it's getting late in Europe. I appreciate just hanging in there with us. So thank you for joining us.
No, thank you for inviting us.
Thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Rashid.
Thank you as well.
My pleasure.
Mhm,
My
nice to
pleasure.
know about newer devices.
Nice to see you in Santa Cruz last time.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Mona again. Can you tell me when you think the grade 2, the contracted Braille, will be put into your device?
Rashid, that's one for you.
Yeah,
Will
the
be added?
contracted Braille, it's depend because we right now, as I said, grade 1 and we're working in grade 2, but for contracted Braille, as also for other Brailles, we need to find the person who will partnering with us on that to check everything right and so on. And as our research show, like for Turkey, mostly they using contracted Braille, but they not only using contracted Braille. There's interesting thing that they using letters and contracted Brailles together. In Germany, they are not using upper than the grade 1 Braille. In Australia, they're using grade 1 and grade 2. In France, they're using grade 2 and contracted Braille. In England, they're using grade 1 and contracted Braille separately, and so on. As demand, if somebody say, okay, we are ready to help, because beside from our side to make contracted Braille, because each language, each country, even before unified Braille, even in France, there is 2 different contracted Brailles, the same country, but one old contracted Braille, one is new contracted Braille. And there is least available public information for contracted Braille for languages. And there we need to have the Tiflo pedagogues, and there beside all of making all of that, it's we need to have spend some time, some money, if there is demand, and if somebody say, okay, we know our school required, or somebody required, of course we can make it. We need to about 2 weeks for developing contracted Braille for that language.
But I don't think
Okay,
we're
let me
talking no sooner than a year. If you're looking at timeline,
Yeah.
definitely not within the year.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let me clarify. Let me get myself clear then. The device you have, the toy you have right now, is teaching only grade 1 Braille. It's not grade
Yes.
1 and grade 2. It's just grade 1.
Just grade.
Right now, yes. But we are working
so when
on
are you-
others.
Oh, okay. So you haven't done the grade 2. You haven't added grade 2 yet.
Not yet. Not
No.
yet.
Not for English.
Okay.
I think
right,
what
that's all
they're
I need.
trying, I think, and they can clarify the presenters if I'm wrong, but I think what they're trying to say is that there's no demand currently for either what we call contracted Braille, which used to be in America called grade 2 Braille. So as far as I know, they're the same thing, at least in America, contracted or grade 2, whatever you want to call it. And because they're doing it in other countries and other languages, they may not use the same contractions that our American Braille code uses, because
Yes, you are.
because keep in mind,
Exactly.
each country does theirs a little differently. So while people on this call like me and you have said, yes, we use contractions and or grade 2 in our books, whether it be textbooks, classic books that you get from Library of Congress, that are like Oliver Twist or something, that they're printed with contractions and punctuation, in literary Braille grade 2. That's the standard. Other countries do it differently, so I think they're trying to take that into consideration. But we're coming here from an American standpoint by saying, yes, we want grade 2 because everyone uses it. And that's true. Everyone, I shouldn't say everyone, but most people who want to be avid Braille readers like me do use contracted Braille, but that's from an American standpoint.
But on grade 2,
Yeah, I would say get onto our follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and then you'll hear about or sign up, send us an email, and then we'll keep you in touch with later next developments. At the moment, we're just a small company starting with just this first product, but our aim is to get every language, every grade of Braille available for anybody who wants it. We'll get to that point. It's just it'll take us
time.
an investment. Yeah.
Okay, understandable. Thank you very much for your presentation today. It was great. I'm very interested.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording now.